So if he saved you from your sins and you still think you're a sinner, that must mean he failed, and he didn't. He says in the Bible that he's perfected us forever, right? So when I was able to believe that, that core of my heart changed. I went from emptiness to having hope. Well, where do righteous people go? Righteous people go to heaven. I always thought I was going to die and go, maybe not to hell, but somewhere where evil people go, because I was an evil person. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of. But, you know, as I had that hope that, hey, I don't have to live this way. This mind, this heart was deceiving me, telling me that I was, you know, not righteous, telling me that I was evil, you know. And when you live that lifestyle, you start to believe, well, I'm evil anyway, so excuse my language, but it, I'm gonna do whatever I want, because your self-worth is gone. Your confidence gone. Everything is out the window. So, you know, what I'm doing nowadays is I'm going to prison, and I'm a prison minister, and I preach my testimony and this story to people, and it really changes their lives, because everyone is telling people, hey, stop doing bad, stop doing evil. The problem is they're not understanding that trusting in themselves is the root of all evil, because we're flawed as human beings, right? And if we're flawed, we cannot produce perfect things. We actually can't produce good things. We can try, but at the end of the day, we feel this emptiness. And what I call it is this up and down lifestyle. You know, when you're really happy, you're on the up. But when you're sad, you crash. So you're happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad until you die. There is no real purpose inside of your life, you know, and that's something that people really resonate with, because I went through that. When I look at my life, I thought it was a curse. 12 years old in YA. Hey, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be dead. I'm supposed to be on the streets here with these people strung out. But as I see that God was leading my life, I see that it's such a blissful life. Why? Because I understand the people that these homeless people on the streets, they don't need money. They don't need, you know, clothes and all that, you know. They need the fixing and the renewal of the heart. And so, you know, that's really what I've been doing nowadays, going to prisons and talking to you know, inmates and double lifers, people with LWOP, life without parole. And I don't tell them, hey, you need to change. Why did you murder people? You know, you need to make a decision. No, what I tell them is, do you know what God did for you? Do you know that sin is not, it was part of you. It's not that you wanted to do it, but it was something that was dragging you. And if you learn to distrust that voice, distrust that destructive voice, I call it, that evil thought, evil nature, then you're able to live well. And you're able to connect to the pastor. You know, you're able to connect to people who are better than you. And then their happiness, their hope will pour into your heart.